Well, good evening. I'm Hexie and I'm the founder of Kiteka. Kiteka is a charity that empowers women in Uganda with access to technology and digital skills. Make sure the slide works. So the roots of Kiteka start in my childhood. My parents are missionaries and I grew up in northeastern Congo on a farm with 3 other Congolese families. And you can see me being put to work on the farm. And one of my best friends at that time is a wonderful woman called Betty, who's now a part of Kiteka. And now, me and my family moved back to the UK. Betty and I happily met again in our 20s and worked with a women's collective in the south of Congo. And it was during that time that I was really impressed with the work ethic and resilience of the local women. And yet saw how limited their opportunity set was and how many are stuck in an unrelenting poverty cycle. And so Betty went on to become a lawyer, this is appropriate, in Uganda, and I went into banking and business building in London. But we stayed in touch and we continue to share this passion for enabling women to build better futures for themselves and for their families. And 2 years ago we decided we wanted to make this shared passion a reality. And so we conducted further research and we had conversations with partners on the ground, and we discovered that access to technology and digital skills is actually one of the best ways to create economic empowerment for women. So there's been a mobile revolution has swept across Africa, we all know that, but 23%, women are 23% less likely than men to own a smartphone, and only 21% of women regularly access the internet. So like a lot of the tech industry, there's a big gender inequality issue to be addressed, and this gender gap is currently costing sub-Saharan Africa an estimated 95 billion a year. So in December 2016, Betty and I started Kiteka in Kampala with 10 women. And just over a year later, we have 120 women in our network, many of whom are micro-entrepreneurs, working in local markets. And similar to the microfinance model, we organise women into groups, sisterhoods we call them. That's groups of 10 women so that they can peer mentor and encourage each other as they move through the Kiteka programme. So there's 3 parts to what we do at Kiteka. There's a smartphone loan programme, which is giving interest-free loans on an Android phone, and women repay that over 6 months. There's digital and business training, which helps women make the most of their smartphone, both to improve their local businesses and also just generally their lives, their education. Mobile money is an amazing service that they then access. And the third part is a digital work platform, where we give women the chance to complete basic digital tasks from their smartphone and earn additional income. And it's this third part that I'm particularly excited about. So it's the part that over time will make us self-sustaining as an organisation, and it builds significant economic value for the women in Kiteka, as well as offering a great service to our clients. We've been specialising in social media work, basically helping brands grow their audience online. An example of the type of work we've done is with a US accessories brand called Kiteka, an online retailer who wanted to use Instagram as one of their marketing channels. We helped them grow their following from a couple of hundred to over 1,000 in just 6 weeks. They increased their audience engagement by 3 times and doubled the number of newsletter subscriptions they had. And we continue to build this work. We have 10 women working with 5 pilot clients right now, and we want to scale that over the next 2 years, as I said, to get us to a point where we're more self-sustaining. Now at this point, I'd love you to meet some of the Kiteka women, but it didn't make sense to fly them over from Uganda, obviously watching the penny and pounds. But they're all very active on social media, and we have a hashtag, KitekaSister, which if any of you are on Facebook or Instagram, you could put in, see some of them. They all know I'm pitching here tonight, and so feel free to send them a message, say hi. They're eagerly awaiting the results. To bring the Kiteka impact to life a bit more, I want to share the story of Caroline Adimba up here on the right hand side. She's a 29-year-old single mother with 2 children, Happy and Prince. And she runs a small stationery stall in one of the local markets. She joined Kiteka last July, went through the whole programme, repaid her smartphone loan, did the training and started working with one of our social media clients 2 months ago. And when I spoke to her last week about the impact that working with Kiteka had had, she told me that not only has she been able to pay her rent on time and not worry about feeding her kids, but she's been able to start saving for Happy's secondary school education, which is something she didn't think she'd be able to do. She dropped out of school herself, and she's actually never been able to save for anything before. She also added that being able to do the work from a smartphone has been particularly helpful. She doesn't have to work late at the market, travel back on dangerous roads. She gets back, feeds the kids, puts them to bed, logs on and does 1 to 2 hours of work with us. That's the sort of impact we're able to have. And imagine if we could multiply that across hundreds of women, how many more families would be lifted out of poverty, how many more children would be educated, especially girls. And that's the vision we have at Kiteka. That's why I'm standing in front of you here tonight to pitch. And just to break it down for you, it costs us £600 to put 10 women through the Kiteka programme in a sisterhood. And this year we want to work with 500 women across Uganda, and that's going to cost us just over £50,000. And so with the support of generous people like yourselves, we can connect more women to the world, equip them with digital skills and give them new economic opportunities that they never had access to before. So thank you for listening.